Alright guys, so we're here to talk about Final Round 17. So it was quite the interesting tournament for me and many of the viewers. I guess we'll start from pools. So my pool was pretty unique in the fact that when I got there, 3 of the 4 people on my side of the pool did not show up. So what happened was I got buyed into winners finals of my pool. Now, the players that I was supposed to play against might not have been very good, but despite that, I just got buyed into winners finals. So I ended up having to play Ford as the first good player that I had to go against. So, and that was the first match of the day. So I had pretty much no warm up, no nothing. I just went, battled Ford, and I ended up beating him 3-1, which put me in the top 64. So from there, it got pretty interesting. I said 64, yeah, top 64. So as soon as I got into top 64, since I was in the 4 p.m. pool, so it started pretty much almost exactly after that, and then I looked at the pool bracket, and the first people to play, well, I was against Rex, which is another Florida player. He's pretty good. He plays Zero Doom Virgil. So I was against Rex, and then the next match, if I won that, I would have had to play the winner of F-Champ and Neo. So when I saw that, and when I guess F-Champ and Neo came over to see that, they pretty much asked to change. They asked Larry if he wanted to, if he could change the pool bracket for them, or so they didn't have to play each other, basically, because they were family, and they didn't want to travel across the United States to play each other. So yeah. So I guess they didn't pre-register. So pretty much, because they didn't pre-register, they were in a different bracket, and they ended up having to fight each other. So, and then Larry told them that. He was like, since you guys didn't pre-register, this happens to you just because, the way the pools worked out. So he didn't want to change it. And the only way that, I guess F-Champ and Neo ended up finding somebody that, I think it was like Marcus or somebody from Georgia, or I think it was Marcus and his roommate or something from Georgia, and they ended up agreeing to trade spots with F-Champ and Neo so that F-Champ and Neo didn't have to play each other. But anyways, that was the first thing that happened. So my match was me against Rex, and then the winner of that would play the winner of Neo and I think Marcus's roommate. And what happened was I ended up beating Rex 3-0, and then I was waiting for the winner of Neo and Marcus's roommate. And Neo ended up beating the roommate, and sorry I don't know his name. But so I ended up having to fight Neo next, and I don't know what happened with Champ. I assume he did win the matches to get all the way to me, but Neo beat the roommate, and then it was me against Neo. So some background, and before I get into the F-Champ and Neo situation, I honestly have all the respect in the world for those guys, and I've never disliked F-Champ, because every time that I played him at CEO in Vegas, I played him twice in Vegas and once at CEO, and both times, every time I played him, he was very respectable. He shook my hand every time. He always said good game, well played. He's a good guy. I never had anything against him, really. When I beat him at CEO, I was hyped because I'm still kind of an underdog, and it was exciting to beat an Evo champion, but I never had anything against him. And some background, and just so you understand my tweet that I tweeted out, why was that final round, the one that had something about that said, and I said it kind of out of anger, but I said that that Neo talked shit to me, and he could hold that L or whatever. But the reason I said that was because at CEO last year, After I beat Champ, he came up to me and said, "Hey, you're lucky that wasn't me, or you would have lost," basically. And I was like, all right, I didn't say anything. You know, I kind of was just in my moment. And, but anyways, that's kind of just a little bit of backstory. So anyways, the match between me and Neo. I have nothing against Neo either, by the way. I'm just trying to like really just tell it from my experience how I felt. I'm not trying to start any drama or anything. I'm just trying to tell you guys my story from my side, because there's so many misconceptions and different things about my buttons and about what happened. So just trying to clear it all up and make sure you guys know my side. So anyways, me against Neo. I ended up beating him 3-0. And the entire time I was fighting him, I was really just rushing him down because I felt that he wasn't. I felt that he was. I don't want to say scared, but he was not in the right state of mind when he was playing me, and that's kind of what I got from the situation. So my strategy against him was to rush him down as hard as I could, and it worked well. And of course, he played Phoenix, so I tried to catch mag, snap Phoenix, kill Phoenix, and then go from there. But anyway, so after the match, I 3-0 him, and then he comes up to me afterwards. Well, first of all, he gets up and then comes back and tells me, "You're not good. You're all gimmicks." And I don't really blame him for saying that stuff to me. I mean, people kind of say things when they're angry. I do dumb stuff when I'm angry. I get upset, and everyone gets salty when they lose. So I don't really fault Neo for that, and I really don't blame him. But that's what happened after the match. So I was kind of, I guess I was happy in the moment, and then I went on after that to play F-Champ. So I played F-Champ on stage. The Neo match wasn't streamed, but the F-Champ match was. So when I was on stream playing F-Champ, I still had the same momentum that I had against Neo, and I ended up beating Champ 3-0 on stream. And just to clarify, during both the Neo and F-Champ matches and every match that I played in it at Final Round, I did not use my extra buttons that were on the stick. The extra buttons on the stick were binded, but I never actually used them in matches. And I'll kind of go into it later once I get in the game and kind of show you guys what they're actually used for. But I did not use those matches against Neo or F-Champ. But anyway, so I 3-0 F-Champ, and then after that, he shakes my hand, says good game, I say good game, and it's all good. Like, I had no hard feelings to either of them, even though Neo said the things that he did, because really it was, in my head it was just an anger. Like I said, people get salty, it's whatever. But after that, I was pretty much on cloud 9 at that point, because everybody was proud of my play. Everybody was, happy that I won. Florida was backing me. The South was with me. Everything was going my way, essentially. So for me, I was in I felt so good. I felt so proud, as a player, because I do put in a lot of hard work. I don't have that much time to play. I play about once a week, usually do like a maybe 6 to 8 hour session once a week. That's about it. But I still consider myself to put in a lot of hard work to refine my game. But anyways, I guess the point is, when I beat Neo and Champ, it was all me. It wasn't the buttons. There was no additional inputs that I used, even though they were on the stick. And you can believe that or you cannot believe it. That's okay. I mean, I'm just going to tell you from my point how it went. But anyways, after all that happened, I think it was Neo who went to Twitter and did the original tweet that said, you know, I just found out that I lost to somebody who used macros or something like that. And at that point, I responded and said that, you know, Jabali and Mr. Wizard confirmed it because I built the stick myself. And so I built the stick myself, and I kind of built it using my own custom layout. I put the extra buttons on there for a specific technique, and there was no macros, but you know, they said that I used like a 12 button stick when in reality it was a 10 button stick because 8 plus the 2 directional buttons. But anyways, it's beside the point. They blew it out of proportion on Twitter, and then Mr. Wizard and Jabali both chimed in and said, "Hey, we never backed this guy." And then Mr. Wizard said, "Don't believe anything that D-Bag Liar says. You know, I never told him that was legal." And after that, you know, I didn't want, you know, these guys to pretty much just make me out to be a liar and make me out to be a cheater. So that's when I posted the screenshot proof, which I saved the emails and from Shoryuken and an email to Jabali, which I didn't post because I didn't want to, but I saved those for this exact moment because I thought that this might happen at some point, even though that they said, excuse me, sorry, that it was legal. So anyways, I posted the proof, and then everything went crazy, and you know, it went from like a moment where I was really proud and confident in my game to where a moment where I felt like complete garbage because everybody thought that I was a cheater, to, you know, to everybody supporting me again because they wanted me to do it without the buttons. And then everybody didn't really know what the buttons were for, and everybody thought that they were used for different things. So in the end, I wanted to do this segment to clarify what the buttons are used for, and you know, to clear up any discrepancies. Yeah. So anyways, the next day, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it did get to me, like, and I don't know if that was their intention or if they were just mad that they lost to a player with extra buttons, but it did affect me emotionally and my play on finals day. I tried to overcome it as best as I could, but you know, it did have an impact. But anyways, I guess to round out the end of the finals day, I ended up losing to Chris 0-3. I was a little over-aggressive against him, and I kind of went in a lot of spots that I shouldn't have, but I got a little bit more comfortable against Justin Wong, and I was happy that I could at least show you guys, you know, that I didn't need the extra buttons to beat a top player or to play my same game, because my goal was to show you that I didn't use the buttons and that I had the same play on Saturday as I did on Sunday. But anyway, so I ended up beating Justin Wong 3-1, and then I lost to F-Champ again 1-3. And like I said, I've always respected F-Champ as a player, and he's very, very smart. He made some very good adjustments to counter the play style that I was using against him, and I didn't adjust fast enough, so he got the better of me on day 2, or day 3 rather. But I definitely look forward to playing him again, and I know, or at least I hope Neo and Champ know that, you know, that I didn't use that against, you know, I didn't use those buttons against them, and that wasn't the reason that you know, I beat them. But I didn't get a chance to talk to them in person, and I also wish that before Neo posted on Twitter and did all those things that, or you know, I don't even know if it was Neo or if it was Champ or who it was exactly, but whoever it was, I wish they would have talked to me in person so that I could clarify, you know, for myself as a player. So I could clarify for myself as a player what I used them for, and so everything didn't get blown out of proportion. Because I think if they talked to me first, I could have showed them, and I could have, you know, changed the outcome of what happened, and everything didn't have to go the way it did, and you know, things might have changed. But anyways, after everything got blown out of proportion, that's when they decided to, you know, talk about, you know, disqualifying me or ruling out my stick, or, you know, I didn't really know what was going to happen, because on that Saturday, they brought me down to the lobby, and I talked with the tournament organizer, Larry, and, you know, he didn't really know what to do, because it was a hybrid. It was a hybrid stick. It's a combination of a hitbox and an arcade stick, so it was a unique situation, and I didn't mean to put Larry in that situation, and I really didn't want to. It wasn't my intention, and I really should have asked him before I came to that tournament, and that was my mistake, and I feel really bad about it. But I did ask Jabali and Mr. Wizard, and the reason I asked those TOs is because I made the stick last year, and they okayed it, and then I kind of forgot about it, really. I just played. No player really said anything to me. You know, people would make jokes to me, but nobody would really say, like, oh, that should be banned, or anything like that. So I kind of just forgot about it when it came up to final round. I was just more excited to go and play, so I didn't really think about it too much. But anyways, so Larry didn't really know what to do, and, you know, I told him I respected his decision either way. So, but he wanted to sleep on it. So after that, I came down to the lobby and on finals day, and I asked him, you know, what did you want to do? And, you know, he took me back to a room to talk to me, you know, privately, and, you know, we talked about it. He gave me some good explanations and some different reasonings. But he wanted to classify it as a joystick and not a hitbox, because he didn't really know what to rule it as, and because he was classifying it as a joystick, he said that the two buttons, or the directional buttons, shouldn't be allowed on a joystick because it has a joystick already, which I agree with. You know, it is a hybrid, it is a new situation, so it's kind of hard to make a ruling, especially, you know, if there isn't a global overall rule for it. So, but anyways, the end outcome was that I either had to play on a different stick, or I was going to be disqualified from the tournament. Which I, of course, didn't want to be disqualified from the tournament, and I definitely didn't want to play on a different stick. You know, not because I didn't want to have access to the two macro buttons or whatever the community was calling them, but because I use a very worn-in Saimitsu stick, and my layout was customized for my fingers, and I've been using the same layout for probably like, I want to say 3 years now or so. So I really didn't. My big concern was using the Saimitsu stick in my layout, not so much the two extra buttons. So my goal was to use my stick and not get disqualified. So I asked Larry, you know, respectfully, if I take out the two buttons, would I still be allowed to play with my stick in the tournament? For the reason being that if I played on another stick, you know, I would basically get bodied for free, and I wouldn't know where my buttons are because my layout's specific to me. And, you know, thankfully he respected that. Larry's a great guy. He did a wonderful job at final round. And like I said, I didn't want to put him in that situation. So, you know, I was happy to remove the buttons and continue to play in the tournament, because that's what I wanted to do. Because I knew that I didn't use them anyway. It's still, to me, it was more like a work in progress. So, and what I mean by that is, it's not, you know, people might think it's easy to play with extra buttons or it makes things easier, but really, you have to adjust your muscle memory. You have to know, you know, where to move your fingers, you know, when to press those buttons, because there's a different timing too. So, it's really not as easy as it seems. You know, it might make things easier in the end game, but to get used to that and to build that muscle memory is not easy. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is I didn't use the buttons then, and I didn't use them in the tournament because, quite frankly, I wasn't used to them. Still, even after I've had them in my stick for a year, because there were some misconceptions about what I actually use them for. Some people were saying I use them for seismos. Some people were saying I use them for Some people said I had like a medium bound to it and like a dash. I don't even know. It was just getting ridiculous. But to clarify things, they are not used for seismos. I've found them to be less consistent with seismos because I'm really like a rhythm player when it comes to doing things like that, and using those buttons really threw off my rhythm when it came to rapid seismos. Some people said that I didn't do any seismos against Chris G, but that was because my playstyle was different against Morgan. It wasn't a more so zone / neutral playstyle. It was more like a rush, rush, rush. I need to catch Morgan so that I can kill her playstyle. But against other players like, you know, F-Champ and Justin, I didn't have to rush like all the time. So that's when I started doing more seismos. And the seismos that I do, I very rarely do rapid seismos. And by rapid seismo, I just mean seismo, tiger knee seismo, tiger knee seismo, tiger knee seismo. I usually do seismo, focus attack, dash cancel, seismo, because I'm constantly moving forward and constantly applying that pressure, and it will combo against assists, and it's good against push block. While rapid seismos, you're at a standstill, and you're not really going anywhere, you're just throwing out as many seismos as you can. But anyway, what I use them for is the Viper Ball technique. So if you don't know what that is, it's a quarter circle back, up forward, and then you hit either L, M, or H, and then S. And what that does is essentially does a burn kick cancel with super jump momentum so that Viper will essentially fly across the screen, and depending on what version you do, L, M, or H, your height will be different. So L would be, you know, very close to the ground, M would be a little bit close to the ground, and H is, you know, a little bit of a higher height. But that's what I use it for, and the reason is because if you try to do that motion with just the stick, there's a good chance that you'll mess it up. And my playstyle as a rush player, I try to do everything I can to be 100% consistent. So, and that's with my movement, and with the Viper Ball technique as well. So if I were to do that manually, and it is possible, and I can do it pretty consistently manually, but there are times where I really need it to come out, and if I hit quarter circle back up, or if I rolled it at all, Viper wouldn't get any momentum, and if I expected Viper to be in a certain position, and she wasn't, then it really throws off my rush and my entire game. So that was the core reason why I ended up putting those two buttons there, and I asked if it was legal, just because I wanted to try something different, and hitboxes were kind of on the rise. So, you know, to me, it was just a different technique, a different way to apply what's already in the game and what's already being used by other players in a different way. And I'll show you guys in a second, because I'll show you exactly what the technique is and what it looks like compared to just a normal, you know, quarter circle back, all the way to up back, Viper cancel, or burn kick cancel. What's up? What's up? Okay. So, you know, I know some people were saying that I used it for seismos, but I really didn't. That was 100% me, and that's why I hope that. What? Yeah, I'm gonna show them. So I hope you guys saw that on on the finals day, that it should have looked the same, because it really was the same. Hey, let me go to training mode in a second. So once I show you guys this, what it actually looks like, we'll do some question and answer, and hopefully I can clarify things more for you guys. Super Benty says F-Champ faced full schedule on Saturday, and full schedule just said F-Champ said GG. Yeah, you know, like I said, F-Champ's always been respectful to me. He's always said good game. He's never been like, you know, disrespectful to me or anything in any way. So I wasn't mad at F-Champ. He, you know, I'm still not mad at F-Champ. He, to me, I always like to play him. He's very, very smart, and I feel like I can get better every time I play him. Here, let me go in training mode real quick. Alright, so I'm going to plug in my stick and show you guys. What's up?
Light, medium, hard, S1, 2.
Why is that scrub? That's
what everyone calls it.
that's what you call it.
Alright, just setting my buttons here and then we'll go to training mode.
I don't know.
Well, that makes sense because your dad's like,
I didn't know you did that game. I do it. I do it. Yeah, because you get played. Yeah, because of that layout, you can't use your hands particularly.
Alright.
So it makes it harder.
So I don't have a camera on my hands. Maybe I could put it there. I don't know. Let's
They
see.
have the same layout, David.
Yeah, the camera's flipped. Okay, so
So you can play David's layout the exact same way, but
let's see. Alright, so this is essentially the Viper ball. So I'm going to do it with H because that's the version that I usually use because it gives me good positioning.
show them the regular one first, so they know the difference.
The regular one? Okay. So the L... Oh, you mean just like... Okay.
Without the trick.
Oh, without the trick.
Without the trick.
So if you just do down to up back and do HS, you just get... Here, let me put the game bigger. Hold on. Let's do this one.
The dink and shout so much.
Let's see. That'll be fine. Anyways, so if you just do down to up back, you just get this. You have no momentum, you don't go anywhere. If anything, you just go back. If you do, if you roll the stick, you go forward a little bit, but really, you don't go anywhere. Oh, I did it, sorry. Okay, so you really don't go anywhere. But if you do quarter circle back to up forward HS, Viper goes forward with a good momentum. So this is me doing it with the extra button. So, and I can't even get it every time because the motion is surprisingly not super easy. I mean, I still have to do quarter circle back. I hit the button, then I hit H and S, so it's like a three-way plink after you do quarter circle back. So that's what it looks like, the H version. So what you can do with that, if you're in somebody's face, is I could just do like, you know, air down forward light, and then go like that to do a quick cross up. So that's one application of the Viper ball with the H cancel. So as you can see, it's pretty fast. Okay, so let's try the L one. Alright, so the L one kind of keeps her closer to the ground. There we go. So she gets a good momentum, and the good thing is when you do this trick is you can block in the air. So when Viper's flying at them, you can just hold back and you can block as if it was an air dash. You know, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. And honestly, it's Viper's fastest way to move forward in that space, and it serves as a good cross up too. You can also use it to avoid push block and different other things. But anyway, that technique is what they call the Viper Ball. So that is the only reason that I had those diagonals in the stick. And if you watch the stream, you won't see me do it once because it was too risky for me to go for still, because I'm still getting used to doing that motion with the bind. So now some of you might say I did it for the seismos, which I didn't. Let me get in position. So the seismos,
No, I know, but that's the fact that you're on.
the seismos advancing forward with focus attacks, that was all me. Like
You don't care that they see
this
you.
technique.
Now they know you're real.
Hey, let me put them on block so I don't shoot them in the air. So,
You're joking, man.
That's your last thing? Yeah. It's not so you know that it's just.
so this technique is just all manual. As you can see in the button inputs, there's no up forward. If you look at them, yeah, there's no up forward or up back. And that's what I was doing at final round. Was doing seismo into a focus attack, dash cancel. The seismo, so it's seismo, and an up plus focus attack, dash. So I'll do it slow. So the motion is Dragon Punch H, up plus focus attack, and I use 2 buttons to dash. So when I do it really fast, it's the same motion. The rapid one.
He's like on the screen.
The rapid one, this is all manual. If you see my hand, which
He's not pressing it.
yeah, maybe I can do a bigger camera. It's hard to get the stick in the picture, but maybe you can just see my finger.
I can take it off. Can you take it off?
Sure, I mean, so the rapid seismos. So it's all just one button. I'm not hitting diagonal buttons, anything like that. It's just because it's just a rhythm. Like if I were to use the button, it could be easier, but for me, it's just a rhythm thing. And then, like I said, the seismos, focus attack, dash cancel. This is a great technique to move forward. And yeah, we can do that. So I don't know. This camera quality is probably really bad, but it's really, I'm hitting the bottom 2 white buttons and the top 2 and up to do it. And then depending on what seismo I want to do, I can do that. Let's see. So hopefully that clears up things regarding what I use it for. Again, it's just the Viper Ball, which is for this technique.
I'll call you and well, no, just text me on Facebook.
Press 1 if that's a dress shirt. Press 2 if that's pajama style.
I'll just grab all your games, one controller in the system.
Am I left-handed? Sorry, the camera's flipped. That probably looked really awkward. My bad. Should I flip the camera again? Hold on one second. Here, I'll flip the camera. 2-0. All right.
Yeah, don't forget to show me your FATC.
He did.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now, FAGC seismo. So, so when you do these, you can actually combo them if you hit them. So like medium, like double medium would combo. So you can do like, which I didn't get to show on stream, but hopefully I will next time. So yeah, the technique isn't that hard once you can, if you can move your fingers fast and you can, you know, find the rhythm for you, then it's really not that hard. But I guess my point of this is, you know, hopefully this clears it up, because there's no up forward or up back motion when it comes to focus attack, dash cancel, size modes, which is what I mainly use in neutral when I'm wanting to, you know, either focus attack backdash size mode or forward. So if I want to do back or forward. FS, can you show us how you dash with Doom's finger lasers? Sure. So really it's just plink dashing in the air with Dr. Doom. I've practiced plinking a long time in training mode, so I can get it pretty consistently. It's really just plinking light in the LMH is what I do. So that's how I dash. I do a light finger laser and I can dash in. I can get behind them or in front of them before the finger laser gets there. So that's how I dash with Doom. That's how I dash with Viper too. So I do L and LMH to plink around. And Viper's a character with her dash doesn't go very far. So like when she dashes, she's only moving like 1 or 2, maybe 3 character spaces. Not dashing very far. So I really have to be on point with my plink movement, or I can't move around. I can't move in the game. So when I'm like, you know, weaving in and out, that's really, I have to be 100% accurate with the plinks, or, you know, I'm going to get hit. So I can, you know, go in, you know, hold focus attack, dash back, hold focus attack, you know, stuff like that. But it's, it takes a lot of getting used to, because Viper is, you know, a work character. You can't just pick her up and be godlike with her. It takes a lot of time, and I've put in a lot of time, and I just don't want people to think that I just, you know, suck or just use cheat buttons to win, or if it was all macroed or whatever. But anyways, do you guys have any questions that you want to ask me regarding the situation or the macro situation, button binds, my opinions on anything at all? FS, are you going to that CEO event in 2 weeks? I want to, but I'm starting a new job, so I don't know if that will be possible. I could make like a day trip and go like drive in the morning on Saturday and come back late Sunday, but since I don't know how my work schedule is going to be, I don't know if I'll attend that.
Other good areas start to like understand how we play.
Shorty666 says, wow, you have 2 LMH buttons, but you don't use them for plink dashing. What do you use them for? So, if we look at my button setup, LB is set to LMH and LT is set to LM. I use them both the way my button layout's set up. I use one for movement and one for option selects. It's an option select play.
Can we please make a shirt for that?
What made you use Viper? Did you just like her, or you like the execution? Says Magnetic Tempest. I wanted to use Viper from the first time that I saw her release trailer. It was, I can't remember, it was like late in the year before Marvel was released, but as soon as I saw her, I enjoy playing female characters in games, and I also enjoy characters that take a lot of work. so I knew that she was the right fit for me. I tried going to Magneto back and forth because I played Magneto in Marvel 2, but I really, really like Viper, and I like the way she looks, I like the way she moved, I like doing Seismos, I like having access to EX Seismo because I played Psylocke in Marvel 2, so it's kind of similar. But yeah, so that's what sold me on her. Let's see. Zombie Mega Man says, why choose Team Marlin Pie? I went back and forth between a lot of Viper teams, including Viper Dante Strider, Viper Doom Strider, let's see what else I played, Viper Doom Dante, Viper Dante Mag, and Vanilla I played Viper Dante Mag, but in the end, Dr. Doom was just way too powerful of a support character with his easy infinite, with his great DHC, his safe DHC. The beam assist is one of the best in the game. So as a second character, I love Marvel and I love Dr. Doom, so it was just the perfect fit for me. I wasn't really trying to copy Marlin Pie, but he ended up finding the right team first, and I guess that's just how it played out. But and then Ami assist, of course, I love to lock people down. It's just my style. I like to rush them down and lock them and mix them up and make them hold the mix up. Let's see. Is Jabali going to let you use the stick as is at CEO? I have no idea. I don't think there's been a ruling of it yet, but like I said, I'm happy to remove the buttons. I don't use them for that much, just the Viper Ball, so it's not really a big deal to me. The important thing to me is the movement and the plinks and being able to weave in and out and space with Seismos and focus attack dash cancels. That's the most important thing. The Viper Ball is more of like a technique that was in the making, and to avoid push blocks, to apply quick overheads from far away, and to do very good cross-ups. So if I don't have it, it's not a game breaker. I can still play. Are you going to do curly mustache or UFG? I assume you mean UFGT. I'm trying to request off the time now with my new job, so I'm hopefully going to be able to be at UFGT. I've never been before. I've never been to Chicago, so I'd really love to go, and I think it'd be really cool. Do you think you will go to curly at any time? I love the idea of curly mustache. When I was growing up, I used to watch Yipes, Justin, all those guys, and all those crazy videos about curly mustaches and popping Pringle cans and all that. I love curly. I've always wanted to be in curly. I've always wanted to be a part of it. I love the hype that it brings. I love, being a part of hype situations. So, yes, I would definitely want to be at curly if I can make it. I don't know where the next one is, but I'm going to do everything I can to be there.
Oh, gross. Oh, gross.
So you came up with the idea for the button bind because or Sonic721 says, so you came up with the idea for the button bind because you wanted to find a way to consistently perform Viper's TK burn kick feint. Yes, I found that even though I could do it manually, I wanted to have it 100% of the time. And it was more of just an idea. I didn't even know if it would really work, but I wanted to try it out, and that's when I asked the TOs for approval, and then I did it. And then I was still in the process of kind of building that muscle memory and getting it 100% of the time, but I still wasn't there yet. Were you doing the Focus H Thunderknuckle OS thing that Got No Skill came up with when you were doing the Focus Instant Air Throw things? No, I was just doing Focus Attack, Dash Cancel, and Grab. There was no real H option select or anything there. It was just me reacting to where the player went and throwing them. Why are you so free to Chick-fil-A? Says Phil. Because Chick-fil-A is the best, man. So I love their food. Maybe not so much their views, but their food's godlike. What's your button layout? Let's see. So I'll try to show this trick. Oh, I hit the mic. Sorry. So my button layout is top left LMH, next button over L, M, assist 1, LM, H, S, assist 2, up, back, up, forward. And just to clarify, I put these buttons back to show you guys what they were used for, but I haven't made an ultimate decision on if I'm going to keep them there or if I'm going to take them out again. Let's see. Do you think keybinds will lead to mid to low tiers being explored? Says Zippack. I don't know. The up, back, and up, forward, it really depends on how creative you are, because, I mean, it also depends on if they allow it. You know, they could just ban it completely and then it all doesn't matter. But, you know, other things that I've thought about, if you had an up, back, and up, forward, you could do Strider hops really well. But as far as the low tier characters, if they don't have the tools already, I don't know how much you can increase them. So really, I'm not sure. But hey, who knows? I don't know for sure. I don't know about the. I really dislike the way Neo challenged you to the first to 10. When will you bury him and his t-shirt business? Like I said, I have nothing against Neo. I think he's a great player. When will I bury him? I'm not. You want to play? Yeah, go ahead. I'm just answering questions now. So sorry, I might play it a little bit, guys, but I'm gonna let these guys play casuals while I answer these questions. So Neo, I mean, if he wants to play me, I'll play him again. I don't care. Yeah, I don't mind. I'll accept any challenge from anybody. I mean, I love to play the game. I love challenges. I love to play neutral with people. I love to rush people down. It's all good. I love Marvel. I love bringing the hype, so I'm glad I could bring that a little bit for you guys. So if you want me to play somebody, let me know. If somebody wants to play me, hit me up. You can hit me up on Twitter at @FullScheduleMVC, and I'll be happy to arrange something. Would you say are some lesser known FL killers from Marvel? Yes, I would. There are some very, very good players where I live, but they don't come out to tournaments really. So one of them is sitting behind me. Shout Zula. He's very, very good, very strong player, very good Morgan, but he doesn't come out to tournaments really. Another one is Mix Up. The myth, you know, the legend, Mix Up. He is very, very good, very, very strong. I would say he's one of the best Magnetos in the world. But again, he for one reason or another, he can't come out to tournaments right now. So I hope that he can be at CEO. I really do, because I want, you know, you guys to see how good our area is, not just me, but the other players here. So. And we have a lot of great players. There's the Good Book. He plays top 32 at final round. We have Just Dan. I think he fell just short of top 32. We have a guy named Rice, a very, very good, strong Smash player. He plays top. David, what'd you get? Top 16 last year at CEO. 17th. He got 17th at CEO. So I got 12th last year at CEO, and he got 17. So yeah, we have quite a few players. Why don't you play Jill or Strider? I don't like the characters. I mean, Strider's godlike with Viper, but it just doesn't fit my playstyle. Jill, if I had more time, I guess I might explore her more. And my roommate also plays Jill, and we really don't play each other's characters that much, so I kind of let him do his Jill thing, and you know, it is what it is. Full schedule will be the same if you add 3 buttons instead of 2, left, up, right. Yes, in a way. I've thought about that. I thought about that a lot before I did just the 2 buttons, but the 2 buttons obviously is a little bit better because you can just hit the 1 button and it activates both. There's a little bit more error involved if you put 2 buttons, but I think it would still be more consistent than doing the motion on the joystick, because you could just do quarter circle back, and then you would hit the 2 buttons together with 2 fingers, and then you would hit H and then S. So it would be like a quarter circle back, 2 buttons, and then like an HS motion. So yeah, it's still, I think it would be more consistent. I guess that would be more in line with the rules, but again, I don't know what they're going to decide. They could just ban those types of things altogether. You know, you can't have a joystick and buttons on the same stick. I don't know yet, so I can't really say. FS should try out for Spock in any upcoming Star Trek. So, Spock's pretty cool, so. Let's see. Hey, will you be rocking the extra buttons at UFGT? That really depends on if other TOs allow it, because I really don't want to go back and forth between putting my buttons in and taking them out, because I don't want to, I guess, hurt my play. You know, if I need to play without them, I'll just do it manually and try to be more consistent with it, or maybe I won't use that technique in tournaments that much because, you know, maybe it's just not viable. Like, and again, I didn't use it at final round, so you don't need it. It's just kind of like the next level of Viper play in my eyes. But will I be using it at UFGT? If other TOs allow it, then yes. If it is back and forth, then probably not. So I don't know. I haven't made a decision. Check says, when's my Balrog versus Forte run back? Whenever you want, man. Come out to Pensacola and we'll do that. Let's see. So full schedule, would you be able to teach to get the advantage at the start of the round because I get blown up at round start in Marvel? There's a lot of options there. I could go over that another day or in another video, but there's quite a few option selects that you can do to put yourself in an advantage at the start of the game. Not everybody knows about them, but yeah, I don't really want to go into detail with that kind of stuff on the stream because, you know, I'm kind of talking about the whole final round stuff. So. Do you have a tip on landing the Seismo FADC neutral game? Really just practice. Like, it just takes hard work and, you know, getting the motion, getting the rhythm, and yeah, just practice. It's hard. I mean, it's one of the harder inputs, and it took a lot of work for me to get it consistently. Like, I was struggling with that for, you know, probably the first year I played Viper, but then, you know, nowadays I can pretty much, you know, slam it out for free almost. How does it feel to be the most successful white man in UMBC3 history? I don't know if that's true. I mean, there have been other white men probably way more successful than me, but oh, Mike won final round?
It's like final round like 2 or 3.
Final round 2 or 3? Oh, well then I'm not the most successful white man. Maybe now. And no, he's talking about UMBC3, not Marvel 2. What other white men have been done good at Marvel? I think yeah, he's Puerto Rican. There's Green Ace. He did pretty good, but Viscan.
Biscuit's half Filipino, I think.
No, he's not.
Raul told me.
He's not half
Why
Filipino.
would I tell you that?
There's no way Viscan's half Filipino. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know him that good, but yeah. Oh wait, they said UMVC3. So Viscant's not. It's MVC3. He said UMVC3. I don't know. I don't know who the most successful white man is. I don't think it's me though. Have you played Ray Ray recently? I played him one game. We were supposed to play a final round, but I think, you know, it just didn't line up. You know, I was tired one night, or he had some stuff going on another night. So I hope to play him at CEO. Again, I think he's one of the best mags in the world. He really knows how to play the character, and I think plays that character to, you know, its fullest potential. Would you take the UMBC challenge where the loser had to wear Neo's yellow shirt for the rest of the tourney? Yeah, I guess I'd take that. Sorry, I'm getting kind of backtracked because I'm trying to answer all the questions, but let's see. Just get a hitbox and be done with it. Yeah, I can't play in a hitbox. I mean, I need the joystick. I grew up on a joystick. I can never fully convert to a hitbox. I mean, maybe I could, but I really don't. I don't play that much, so it's hard. It would be really hard for me to convert. Do you think there's a benefit of hybrid over just using a hitbox? Yes, I do. Like the downside is there's more buttons, so there's more muscle memory that you have to build, but the good side is you can just play like you normally play. Like if you're used to a joystick, you can play, and then if you have a certain move or something that you would like to do more consistently, that would be where the hybrid type stuff would come in. But again, don't know what the ruling is yet, so can't really say if it's legal. Why you so far from Miami? I don't know. Sorry. Did you set Jaewong up to the corner to make him dive kick the counter? Well, when it was Wolverine versus Amy, I made a specific point in my head to not use the counter until I thought it was going to work. So I tried to slow it down a little bit, try to just play neutral for a little bit. He ended up hitting me, but he didn't have enough meter to kill me. So at that point, he had enough life to where if I hit him with the counter, it would kill him. So when I slowed it down at the very end, I really tried to back him up to the corner. I saw he was hitting S a few times, so I knew he was going to go for a hit right there. He repeated the same action, so when I backed him up to the corner, I waited for him to flinch. I kind of did the motion preemptively, and then as soon as I saw him flinch, I hit L, and then the counter came out just in time. So that's kind of what went on in my head there. Let's see. Alright, so I'm finally caught up with the chat here, I think. You should go to UFGT. So is beating Jaewong your greatest accomplishment so far? Yes, I would definitely say so. Like I said, I used to watch Justin Wong growing up as a kid. I loved his Marvel 2 play. He plays great in Marvel 3. You know, props to him for sticking to the same team since Vanilla. That's crazy. He's stuck with it. He plays well. He outplays people consistently. So, you know, and he's one of the all-time greats. So yeah, I would say overall beating Justin Wong in tournament was my greatest accomplishment. What happened versus Chris G? I was too aggressive. I kind of already went over this a little bit, so I don't know if he just got here, but I was a little too aggressive. I didn't. I played him as if I was playing a different type of Morgan play, which was a mistake. I should have just played based on what he was doing, but he played solid and he really countered what I was doing, which was smart. But yeah, I was too aggressive. I was too excited, I guess, to play that day. But he outplayed me that day, and he deserved the win. So. How sad were you when you got foot dive by Champ when it was 2-2? I think it was 2-1. So I was pretty sad because I saw that he wasn't ready for the side exchange. So when I was able to side exchange and kill Phoenix with just like, I shouldn't have been able to do that against him, but he pretty much let me do it because I don't know if he just wasn't paying attention or if he didn't think I was going to do it, or maybe he thought I was going to do like a up exchange, X Factor, side exchange. But in any case, I X Factor killed Phoenix, and then I thought I was going to run it back, but in the end it was just too intense of a moment, and I held back, and yeah, I crossed up, and I mean, I don't know. I wasn't that sad because I already didn't expect to win that match because I felt that he had already beaten me, but it was still sad because I almost came back. Are you going to Rubback Mountain? I don't think so. I don't think, because I'm starting a new job, so I don't think I'll be able to go to that CEO. What could I have done against Chris G? I should have played a better Seismo game. I should have, because he wasn't, I expected him to activate Astral Vision like ASAP, but he wasn't doing that. I should have played like more neutral and did my Seismo FADC Seismos with Doom Beam to establish pressure and lasers to counter call his Doom. But I didn't. I didn't play it correctly. I rushed too much, so that's what happened. Thank you, Detour88. I appreciate your compliment, man. When are you and other Piccolo Fools going to come up to Atlanta again? I think Marcus was setting up like an event at Tassif's place sometime in the next month or so. I know it's going to be before CEO, so I would guess then if I can get the weekend. If they're going for longer than a weekend, I wouldn't be able to go. But if it's just the weekend, then hopefully I'll be able to come to Atlanta. Because I didn't get to play Tassif. I didn't get to play Roach King, which I really wanted to play them. But there was just so much going on. It was such an emotional weekend that it didn't happen. So. Let's see. Other questions. Banana Ken, full schedule. How many top banana trophies do you have in your possession? I just have one, man. I have this one. See, if if more people would do banana trophies, I might have more than this. But it was the only time that they did a banana trophy, and I won it. So I remember that tournament because it was me against Alan Ho, and I told him, I was like, man, I want that banana trophy. Because of me against him in grand finals, and but yeah, it was crazy. I loved the banana trophy, and it was a good weekend. What do you do for your job? I'm an IT network and system administrator. I deal with like servers and networks and things like that. I can't play Persona or Blaze Blue, so I might as well just give it to you.
Just don't answer that question. That's fine.
Do you know anybody else who does that Doom diagonal dash very smooth? Almost every player in this area has worked on their plinks and can plink either just as good as me or maybe a little bit worse, but overall, you know, we all kind of share technology here in Pensacola, and we try to train each other in the same ways. So if you see something I'm doing, there's a good chance that we all know about it and we all implement it into our game. What? Wear your gamer glasses? I don't know. Actually, they're right here. I can put them on. They're my Viper glasses, man. Yeah, I don't know. They do kind of look like Skrillex glasses. That was the first thing somebody told me when I put them on. I got them for Valentine's Day. And I did this podcast with my friends, and they were all calling me Skrillex, and I don't know, it was just... I guess I do kind of look like Skrillex, but I don't know. Do you play Skullgirls? I bought Skullgirls, tried it for a little bit, but then I don't know, I didn't... I mean, I guess full schedule jokes aside, I really just didn't have time to play another game, so I didn't play it. It looked fun, but I didn't really get into it. Can you explain how up forward and up back help your plinks? They don't. Up forward and up back do not help plinks at all. So. What's up, Ray Ray? Sad we didn't get to play, man. Do you plan to get bodied in Guilty Gear by your roommate? By the way, this is my roommate writing this on the freaking TV on the side. He really wants to play me in Guilty Gear, but I don't know how to play. I plan to learn the next Guilty Gear because from the little bit that I've heard about Guilty Gear, I've heard it's an execution-based game, and I love games that take hard work and, you know, that have characters that take a lot of execution. So I'll probably play the next Guilty Gear, so hopefully you'll see me out there in that. Can you do rapid seismo on the right side of the screen? Yes, I can. Main trick with that is you just really need to focus, like mentally focus on not returning your stick to neutral. So it's a little bit easier on the left side, but on the right side, that's what I do when I do it. I really focus on not letting the stick go to neutral when I do it. But again, rapid seismos to me aren't that useful unless I'm really trying to keep somebody out. But if I'm trying to keep somebody out, I'll usually like to do like seismo, dash back, seismo, based on where the player is going to go and react to it in that sense. Do you plan to play any other anime fighters in Guilty Gear? I'm probably just going to play Marvel, Street Fighter, some on the side, and probably Guilty Gear. So my main games will probably be Marvel and the new Guilty Gear. Who do you play in Street Fighter? Viper still? No, I don't play Viper because it messes with my Viper in Marvel. It's very, very hard for me to go back and forth, and I tried because before Marvel 3 came out, I did play some Viper, and I really liked her. I really liked the execution, and I liked her as a character, which is probably another reason why I picked her up in Marvel. But going back and forth between the two Vipers was too difficult for me, so now I play El Forte and Rufus. So, but again, I'm not a big Street Fighter player, so I can do like run stop loops with El Forte and everything, and I can play okay with Rufus, but I'm nowhere, you know, near anything great in that game. Was this scandal staged? No, it wasn't. You know, like I said, very emotional weekend. Nothing was staged of it. Do I stream often? I normally don't stream on weekdays, but I might start streaming more. When I start my new job, I'm only probably going to have like 3 to 4 hours a night of time, so I don't know if I'll stream during the weekdays, but on Fridays I hold a Marvel session here at my apartment in Pensacola. So we play from about, I want to say, we start usually like 6 or 7 p.m. Central, and we go to like anywhere from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. So I usually stream Friday, so if you want to check out some games from the Pensacola players, come check us out on Friday. Does Wesker beat Viper? I don't think so. I don't play very many Weskers, but as far as, you know, I see it, I think Viper wins that. I have not touched Third Strike. No, I was a Marvel 2 player when I was growing up casually. I wasn't very good. I could do like, you know, Magneto Infinites. I played MSP, and so that's kind of what I played. I was a very big RTS player. I played Warcraft 3. So that's kind of like my background. I played Warcraft 3 and then kind of got into Marvel 2 casually because I enjoyed it so much. Alright, see you later, Jay. Thanks for coming in. Who do you have to play in Pensacola? People don't get that good without good competition. I have great competition. I have Shouts Zula. You know, I know there are a whole bunch of trolls that follow this guy, but he's very good. And, you know, Shout Zula and Mix Up pretty much helped train me up. I was okay before I met them, but after I met them, I spent a lot of time traveling out to Pensacola to train with them. And they actually gave me the name Full Schedule. Funny story behind that, but anyways. But yeah, training with them and getting, you know, their thought process in fighting games and kind of all the different tricks of the trade, you know, really helped me. And practicing with them is like playing against any of the top players that you see at the tournaments. Mix-Up plays a great Magneto. Shouts plays a great Morgan. So, and I have tons of great Zeros here too. So I really have experience against all the top matches. I have a Nova in my area. I actually have a few Novas in my area. I have a few Zeros, great Magneto, great Morgan, Striders, Virgils. So I get a real experience against all those matchups, and we get to talk about it. So that's kind of what I credit my experience towards. What's Viper's worst matchup? What'd you say, Virgil? Everyone's worst. Shaldula says her worst matchup is Virgil. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that would be her worst matchup. Virgil with meter? Yeah, that could be it. I don't know. I mean, Virgil without meter is not. I mean, Morgan's really hard because, like I said before, with Viper, like when I couldn't plink very well, there was no chance in hell I'd ever beat Morgan.
So Derek is trying to get the cap. Terry is trying to get the cap. He's literally trying like every way. Like,
yeah. So if your plinks are not on point against Morgan, like and Morgan can plink, there's no chance in hell that Viper will ever catch her. So that's a really tough matchup. Zero is really hard. If somebody like it takes a very good Zero to play the matchup properly. But if they don't run into EX Seismo, if they know how to control the ground, if they know how to space well, and it's really hard for Viper to do anything. But usually I can open a Zero up based on the mistakes that they make. So I would say Zero might be a bad matchup, but my least favorite matchup is Morgan. Every other character I think she does fine against. Magneto's tough against the top levels, top Magnetos, but I only think there's probably like maybe 2 to 3 Magnetos that are that good to where their movement and Mag Blast are so on point that it sucks for Viper. But until all the Magnetos level up their movement to that level, I think the matchup's fine. Why didn't they show up at final round? Mix-up and Childs, things just didn't work out for that time. They might go to CEO, but I don't know. I can't say for sure, so I don't want to promise anything. Do you think you can destroy Marlin Pie? I don't know. I've never played him, surprisingly. I've talked to him before, and you know, we've talked a little bit about Viper and the team, but I don't know. I personally think that right now my movement is better than his, but he probably has more matchup experience and more experience against top players. So I don't know. I mean, I'd love to play him. I've always wanted to. So maybe he'll get this message and play me at CEO or something. I don't know. Why was NorCal so quick to cry? I would think because they got 3-0'd and I guess they thought that they got cheated. So, I'd say that's the reason. Yo, full schedule, you coming to Texas Showdown? I really wanted to go to that, but it seems like every year, there's always something else that happens at a major. This year I'm going to be going to WrestleMania with some neighborhood friends, so in New Orleans during that same weekend. So that was already pre-planned, so I won't be able to go to Texas Showdown. I really want to go though, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to go next year. Ray Ray says Viper players lose to Ryu. I mean, I don't know. I can't deny it because I lost to Ray Ray when he played Ryu at CEO last year. But then again, I've never played a Ryu before that. So, hope maybe when me and Ray play, he'll play Ryu on me and we'll see what happens. Do you really think Shout / Mix-Up will go to a tournament? I don't think so. I mean, I think that Mix-Up is more likely than Shouts, but I guess time will tell. I really want him to because I really want you guys to see how great he is. You know, I know that everybody talks about these guys, but they are really good. And there's no reason for them not to go to tournaments. So yeah, they are great players, though. Do you intend on running raffles here? What about for that poster behind you? I think, Christina, you wanted to give that poster away, didn't you? The Pulp Fiction one.
I wanted to move it.
Oh. No, I don't know if I don't think I can get rid of it, sorry. How much did that pajama top you're wearing cost? I don't know. I've had this shirt for like I don't know how many years now. Who is your favorite wrestler of all time? I watched wrestling back in the Attitude Era, so I'd probably say probably Stone Cold. I think Stone Cold Steve Austin was pretty sweet. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to answer questions that... I'm trying to answer all questions, so I might get a little backed up on the stream, so sorry, guys. Shouts, SP99 says to show us some Morgan Plinks and fireball patterns. He shakes his head with disgust. Who has the best aiming in the world? Man, everybody knows that's Hanzo. I mean, that's no contest. Paul, somebody saw you do the Morgan Plink stuff last time in the stream.
Yeah, but you had like 5 viewers.
What's up?
You had like 5 viewers. I got too many.
Yeah, we only had 5 viewers in, so I guess it wasn't anything. What are we watching? This is Rice versus Shoutzula. Paul, what are you playing? Strider. Oh my god, I don't even know what you guys are watching. I'm sorry. This is this is more for me to like answer your questions. I guess they're just kind of just playing whatever. So sorry. What's the motion for FADC Seismos? So that would be Dragon Punch and whatever button you choose, whatever Seismo position you want to do. And then you do up plus S and a button, so that would initiate a jump canceled focus attack. So it'd be Seismo, and then as soon as the Seismo comes out, you do up plus focus attack, and then you immediately do a dash. So there's two ways to do that. You can do focus attack or up plus focus attack and then 2 buttons to dash, like right after that, or you could do focus attack and then forward. It's really up to you. The method I use is focus attack with H and S, because those are my bottom 2. So up plus H and S, and then I immediately put both of my fingers up to L and M. So it goes, Seismo, up plus HS, and then immediately hit L and M. And then just constantly do that. So it's just kind of like a rhythm motion. Tell Shouts to stop losing. Someone wants you to stop losing, man. You gotta pick Morgan. But yeah, guys, if you want to support me, I don't really need money, but if you want to give me a favorite on Twitch or a follow on Twitter, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. Paul's trolling me in the background, but yeah, I would love if you guys could follow me on Twitch or Twitter. That'd be sweet. Why are Shouts and Mix-Up so scared of being on stream? They don't want to show their technology before they get to use it. This is probably an old mentality, but that's just how they feel. How old are you? I'm 25. Would you compete as a wrestler if your schedule wasn't full? I thought about being a wrestler as a kid, but never really. I was more into games, I guess. So, but it would be cool. I mean, mad hype, How do you find time to play Marvel with a full schedule? Yeah, I only play like 1 day a week, but really it's just making the best use of your time, like and having a good community. So like, even though I play only once or twice a week, like during that playtime, I'm always, trying to find what I'm doing wrong. I'm talking to the players that I'm playing against. I'm trying to figure out what I should be doing, and really just exploring the things that I think about in my head during the week. So you don't have to necessarily play to train. You can think about situations in your head and try it out the next time that you play. So just making the best use of your time, I guess. What's up? After the recent controversy, have you considered a hitbox style controller? No, because I need a joystick. Like I said, I grew up as a kid playing on sticks in arcades, which I love arcades. I wish they were still as relevant in today's day and age, but no, I can't. I would never go to a full hitbox. Mix-Up is not here. Mix-Up lives about an hour away, so he hardly makes it out to Pensacola. I usually go out there to play him. see what we got. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, you know, I'm planning to stream more, so hopefully if you want to see me play, if you want to see Pensacola guys play, if you want to chat, if you want to ask questions, like, I'm happy to help you guys in any way I can. You know, if more people can get better to make Marvel a better game, then that's definitely what I want to do. Why do you play Amy last instead of Strider or Dante? Because I love Cold Star, and Follow My Lead is a good counter, and it helps Doom reestablish position. Doom's a character who, even with like the fastest plinks in the air, still has trouble getting in. But if you're in some of his bad matchups, you can follow my lead to reestablish that position. So he can't really do that too well with Dante. I know he can somewhat. And Strider, Doom Strider to me is just not. It's not something that I like to play. I don't feel like it's the greatest of duos. But I think Doom Dog is really strong, really fits my play style. I can pin people and I can mix them up, and I can, you know, hit them with different OSs and different tactics. So, and the incoming mix-ups with Viper are really, really strong with Amy. So you get so much from Cold Star, and it really helps Viper with some of her different incoming options and different neutral options. Follow My Lead is Doom Amy Team Super. Sorry, I should have elaborated there, but yeah, Follow My Lead is known as the Doom Amy Team Super, where you hit 2 buttons, and if you have 2 meters, it will activate both of the character's supers. And the Amy Super lasts a really long time, so Doom can start to move forward. Any tips on blocking Doom Amy THC? A lot of players like to jump or super jump in between the waves and hold back and then push block, and vary your push block timing based on the waves and when you feel like you can get an auto block from it. Do you think Rocket Raccoon and Sentinel are good characters? I think Rocket Raccoon has tons of unexplored potential. He's also very good at delaying against strong X Factor 3 characters because of his trap. So if Rocket Raccoon has, you know, enough meter and he's against, you know, a Virgil or something like that, and he wants the X Factor try to blow him up, you can just delay with traps and going underground and stuff, which is pretty cool. He also has some good potential when it comes to, you know, mixing people up with his unblockable and whatnot. Sentinel, I don't know. Ray still uses him, but he's kind of like one of the few. I think Drones with Mag is really good, but you really got to know how to use Sentinel to play him. Like, he's definitely not some scrub character. You really have to, you know how to plink. You have to know how to, you know, kind of read your opponent, know how to place your buttons in the right spots. So, I don't know. I wouldn't say he's a bad, terrible character, but he's definitely not that good. Trish, I don't know. I mean, some people have success with her, but in the end, I don't think she's going to be like top level. Like, I don't think she's going to be able to compete in the end game. Strider is very good. He's top 3 anchor for sure. And I have one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best Striders who lives in my area, and he's very hard to block. X Factor 3 Strider, with or without Ouroboros. So I would say he's very strong. Mix-ups and shouts went to final round. How do you think they would place? I don't know. I haven't seen them play in a tournament in Marvel 3. So, what? Yeah, but those are locals. How do you think? You want to get on the mic? How do you think you would place? Alright. Shouts thinks if he wants to final round or a major, he would get top 16. I think Mike would get top 4. But, and again, I haven't seen Mike play in a tournament in a long time, so there's a lot of things that come with tournament play. Nerves, huge, you know, sometimes people just play bad in tournament because they're not comfortable. They're not in their own environment. So I haven't seen mix-up play in a tournament ever. And so other than like my local tournament, which was still like a comfortable situation. So in a major, I don't know, it could be completely different. But if he plays the same way he does in casuals, he's top 4 easy. Thank you for the compliment, Garrett A. PSN. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad I could inspire people to play Viper or to show another side of Viper that maybe hasn't been seen before. So, thank you. Put shouts on the mic. Shouts, you want to get on the mic?
Are you done doing your final round thing?
Yeah, I mean, there aren't really many. Do you guys have any other questions about the final round or the situation or anything before? Here, I'll set up another mic and then Paul can talk with me if you guys want to ask him questions. Right, Paul? All right. What? I don't know. I don't know. I think I answered the questions about the joystick. Hopefully they don't think I'm a cheater. So, can F-Champ defeat Mix-Up in a money match? Mix-Up thinks it would be close between him and F-Champ. I think F-Champ does very good in long sets. It's I think it's one of his specialties. So short sets, it might, you know, F-Champ could lose. But long sets, he tends to do very well. It's definitely one of his strengths. So him against Mike is very good. Mix-Up's a very good player. So I think it would be a crazy battle. I think Mike has not as much Magneto versus Magneto experience as he does because he gets to play with all the NorCal people and all the California people who play Magneto. So I don't know. It would be crazy.
Oh yeah? On the same team, double DLC.
Here, I'm gonna plug in another mic so Shouts could talk to you guys some.
I saw him 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Alright, Paul, see if this works.
Is it working? Hello?
Yeah, talk closer to it. Yeah, closer into the mic.
Like this?
I can turn it up a little bit here. Maybe a little bit closer.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
All right. So Shouts is on the mic. Do you guys want to ask Shout Zula any questions?
It's
Karaoke.
karaoke time. No, I don't karaoke.
If Shouts lost and Jay Rosa, I would fly out to Florida and force
Do you think you can defeat Jay Rosa? Shout.
Morgan on Morgan is not a good mirror match. Show us your tech. Nah, the tech stays secret.
Just wondering who's playing right now. This is Rice against Rice Picker. Yeah. So it's
What up, Sherm? Are you coming out to Mike's tomorrow?
Shout out to why is Jay Rosa. Yeah, let me switch this to. Switching it to the game, but I'll still be here talking.
Did you go everything you wanted to go?